Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Wack. Today is May 25th, and today's news is going to cover the Ethereum Spot ETF approval. We're going to be talking about Rocket Pool and Bankless. We're also going to be talking about Gravita airdrop and a whole bunch more. So let's get started.
10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Okay, so we're going to start the episode actually with the return of Anthony Sassano, which is something I'm so incredibly happy about. It means that I don't have to cover Ethereum news for you all now. No, I actually love doing that so much. It was so much fun, and I'm really happy that I was able to do that, and it was valuable to so many people. So many people shared their thanks with me and their kind words with me. Like, it was really lovely, and here Anthony as well. When he came back, he gave me
today. But before I do that, I just wanted to give a quick, big shout out to Whack Whack Attack for filling in for me while I was gone. He did a bunch of great coverage around not just Rocket Pool, but Ethereum. So you can go check all of that out on his Rocket Fuel YouTube channel.
So thank you so much for Anthony for that shout out, and I'm so happy that he's back now. So all of you all can go back to Anthony's channel to get Ethereum news. You can get Rocket Pool news here with me, and I will actually be covering like staking news like I always do, especially like as it relates to Rocket Pool, and also when there's an Ethereum story that's big enough, I'll be covering that on the show as well. So I'll still be covering some of the stuff that I covered while Anthony was gone, but some of the stuff about airdrops or raises and all that kind of stuff, I'll leave that to Anthony. Okay, let's get to the episode proper now. So here, a couple of days ago, people in the Rocket Pool Discord were just like, what's going on? The time has come for the deadline is passed. Where is the ETH ETF approval? Have we been rugged, declined? What's going on? Everybody was kind of panicky, and they were just they were like, where is the announcement, right? We were supposed to have our announcement by now. We've not had our announcement, but what we were getting was news of applicants putting in their forms, and it wasn't very good. And people were just like, what's going on? But of course, they were all being a bunch of drama queens. It was absolutely fine. If we go to the James Seyfarth's Twitter page here, a little while later, he said, boom, approved. There it is. The SEC just approved spot Ethereum ETFs. What a turn of events. It's really happening. So this was like such great news on the back of 5 months of waning optimism, increasing doubt, 5 months of FUD, 5 months of people saying Ethereum is dead, 5 months of people saying Ethereum has no use cases anymore, and it's finished. Well, all of that with one fell swoop has been removed. Ethereum has been chosen as a spot ETF for Ether under the commodity designation. So this removes any last sense of ETH being a security. That, of course, adds a whole lot of regulatory certainty around ETH, the asset, also Ethereum, the protocol. If anyone wants to build products on top of Ethereum now, they can rest assured that the underlying asset won't be deemed a security anymore, and have additional scrutiny placed upon it. Now it's all good. And I saw a tweet actually about someone talking about BlackRock's Biddle Fund and how that is now more certain that they're going to be okay to go forwards in a way that they might not have been, even though I think they were okay with it, but even though they might not have been previously. So how did the Rocket Pool community react to this? As we always react to this, War, amazing War, made a POAP. So this was for ETH approval day. So if we have a look at the POAP, it's actually a really nice POAP here, and it's called the ETH approval day POAP. You can have a look at it here. Like, the art is like futuristic and like Ethereum-y, and it's really cool. And and there are a couple of screenshots here. One of them is from Bossy saying, my expectation is literally at 0% for May 23rd. Then there's one from Marceau saying, you guys are ready for ETH approval in 10 days. And then there's one from Anthony Sassano saying, did you study May 23rd? So it's a full spectrum of bearishness, of course, from Bossy, and bullishness from Marceau and Anthony Sassano, of course. So the description of the POAP says, Oh, let me actually fix the screen so you guys can read it. It says, big news, Rocket Pool community. The SEC just approved the first Ethereum ETF, and our trading room on Discord is buzzing with excitement. Imagine ETH, our beloved decentralized hero, getting a shiny new badge of approval from the big leagues. It's like seeing our favorite digital star finally getting its moment in the spotlight. Picture the scene, the Rocket Pool crew all gathered in trading room, decked out in virtual party hats, celebrating with confetti made of smart contracts and raising glasses of pixelated champagne. This ETF approval is more than just a win, it's a milestone worthy of a moonwalk. Now, investors, whether they're new to crypto world or seasoned pros, can jump into Ethereum as easily as buying a stock. It's like ETH has rolled out the red carpet, making it simpler than ever to be part of the revolution. And let's not forget the memes, all the glorious memes. Get ready for an onslaught of ETH to the moon jokes and celebratory gifts flooding the chat. So grab your virtual popcorn, join the fun in trading room. Its future is shining brighter and looking more mainstream than ever. Here's to new beginnings and even bigger crypto dreams. So 113 people were able to claim this PWAP, and I was one of them. So thank you so much, Wo, for putting that together. That was really, really awesome of you. Okay, moving on to some Rocket Pool news now. So, in my last episode, we talked about ETH beta plays and how that works and how it's been a really risky trade for like the last 6 months or year, not just for Rocket Pool's RPL, but also for tokens like Optimism, Lido's LDO, also, Arbitrum and a whole bunch of other, of these beta ETH ecosystem beta tokens. Well, Bankless put out a thread a couple of days ago saying, where are ETH bulls putting their money? 7 promising plays, smart money plays is 7 promising plays smart money is picking. Sorry, I can't read this morning. So they said like choose ETH or also ETH. Well, here they said that the first project that they highlighted was actually Rocket Pool. So it says Ethereum is catching major bid on spot ETH ETF approval hype. Today we're looking at some of the plays already catching fire and the tokens and ecosystems that could be poised to take off at any moment. And the first screenshot they shared is from Jasper. It says the RPL token with new tokenomics is the best long-term risk-adjusted bet on ETH, 100% driven by ETH fees and ETH staking with no permission control. The fee switch is coming soon, 2 times normal yield as a node soon. Then they go on to talk about Lido's LDO, ENS from the ENS service, Arbitrum's ARB, ETHFi in staking as well, and meme tokens. So if you are interested in any of these tokens, like go have a look at Bankless. But the fact that they mentioned Jasper's tweet first in this thread is actually really cool. I've been saying for a while now that people outside the Rocket Pool community just don't know what our new tokenomics is looking like. I've done a few like short posts in ETH Finance on also on Twitter about the new tokenomics. Jasper's done bits and pieces as well, but we haven't actually pushed it, leaned into it big yet. That's partly because we as a community don't have a finalized version yet. There's still a few things that we're trying to iron out and people are still working on. But once that's done, then expect a whole bunch of people amongst us who have people know us in different communities, expect us to be getting the word out like in a really strong way. Okay, staying on actually let's skip that. Let's go back to the Rocket Pool Discord now, and here Ramana had an idea that people took in different ways. So let's see. So he was talking to Socash, who was going to deposit ETH to borrow RPL for his node, I think. And Ramana says, let me know if you figure it out and need help with calling DeFi APIs. What actually matters is liquidation potential. So basically the idea is that if you deposit your ETH and borrow RPL on, say, a service like Aave, then you can use that to stake. However, if the ratio of the RPL goes too high against ETH, then the ETH that you deposited could get liquidated, depending on what your collateralization percentage was. And this idea that people use Aave for 2 reasons. 1 is to top up their nodes, and 2 is to short RPL. So you deposit ETH, you borrow RPL, RPL's price goes down, then you repay your RPL loan in the original amount and get your ETH back. But in the meantime, because RPL's value has gone down, you can actually get more RPL. So the way it works is like you'll sell the RPL, get USD. For example, you get 1,000 USD. Now you have to pay back say 200 RPL, for example, right? And if the RPL value goes down, then you need fewer than $10,000 to buy back that 200 RPL, so you get to keep the difference. Now, there's this idea that that's called shorting, and if the price can move up quickly enough, then those shorts get squeezed, and they are forced to buy back RPL to pay back their loan. Otherwise, they'll get liquidated, or that happens through the liquidation process. Now, this has been like a topic of debate in the Rocket Pool community for a while. So Ramana here is talking about, he says how much ETH could liquidate, how much RPL short, how many RPL short positions, live feed, and how to liquidate. So he has this idea of setting up a dashboard of tracking like these loans and these short positions, and trying to go short hunting, and or getting an idea of how many shorts there actually are. So he says the GMC would pay for that, right? And he said we could even have a pledge contract. People can approve their wrapped ETH for use if enough is approved to actually achieve the liquidation, but otherwise it's unused by some deadline. And so catches that will risk some ETH to see if we could trigger an RPL short squeeze, especially if it happens near the RPL reward checkpoint. And he says maybe we can use our ETH for this too. Noshua says, I doubt a way to chase away node operators gets GMC funding. Now the idea is that it's node operators who are doing this, and some of these node operators could get short squeezed and get hunted by this, which would of course spoil their staking experience, which would mean fewer of them would want to come online. And then there's a comment here as well about how the GMC shouldn't be funding GorillaFi operations because of DAO uncertainties around DAOs. And Ramana says regardless of whether the GMC would want to fund it, it might be fun to figure out the dashboard. So you might be seeing RPL short dashboard coming up soon. Okay, moving on to staking news now. Here we have news from Wonder, and Wonder of course works with NodeSet. NodeSet are doing their Stakewise integration testnet right now, and he says for your information, node operators, we are broadcasting an exit message for all the Haleshki validators right now, so don't be alarmed when your validators exit. This is not something we'd normally do, but we are intentionally doing this on the testnet so we can test out a few things on our end. This masked exit functionality is only something that will occur on testnet when we want to reset the vault. After these exits go through, we'll restart the process of activating validators again. So please make sure you have multiple keys uploaded that you'll continue to be included in testing. So this is really interesting because of course, one of the ideas that NodeSet also have for Constellation, their integration with Rocket Pool, is this idea of forced exit, to be able to kick out a validator when they are misbehaving, or they are not performing up to the level of duty that they should be. Well, now they're testing on Stakewise as well. So it's really interesting that they're doing this, and the fact that they let people know that it's happening is actually pretty cool. But yeah, this is actually quite a big fear of people having controlled signed exit messages. The idea is that if you have exit messages from all these people, and somehow they get some malicious actor gets access to those exit messages, if they broadcast all the exit messages, then your protocol will lose all its validators in one fell swoop. So it's quite scary, but they're just doing it for testing purposes, which of course is understandable. Okay, next to some wider news, and on Rocket Fuel we've talked about Gravita a whole bunch in the past, and Gravita are now back with an announcement for their airdrop. So it says exciting token related announcement to ensure our upcoming governance token generation event this summer rewards highly aligned ecosystem participants. We're implementing some key measures. So they have a 30,000 mark cut off, and they want to focus on fairness above all. So here they've got information about their 30,000 marks. This is only users with at least 30,000 marks between chapter 1 and chapter 2 will receive tokens. Reaching 30,000 marks is easy. So all you need to do is deposit 60 Grai into the stability pool, Dolomite or Zero Lend, and provide 100 DAI of liquidity. It says deposit more to earn marks even faster. You can also reach 30,000 marks by ranking Taurus on any chain in chapter 2. Even if you miss chapter 1, marks for POPs will be awarded on Arbitrum only in upcoming update to level the playing field for ranks consideration. It says this ensures genuine value and avoids dust in wallets. This is fairness above all. As outlined in our document, users engaging in sibling or other unfair practices will be entirely disqualified. We're committed to maintaining integrity and rewarding genuine participation. So if you were involved in Gravita expect there to be some kind of POAP to be coming up soon. Go to the Gravita Ascend website. You'll have to find the link from the Gravita Discord yourself, and you can check how many marks you have by connecting your wallet there. Okay, next, in other news, I covered Jasper's tweet thread about the decentralization prongs in FIT21 a few days ago. Well, Jasper said a screenshot of a congressperson, Dusty Jackson, sharing the Jasper's tweet thread. In the reply, someone said, Dusty, can you explain a sufficiently decentralized token, aka commodity under FIT21? And then he replied by sharing Jasper's thread, which is actually really cool. So Jasper said, do I have political sway now? And yes, Jasper, you do have political sway now. It's cool. Okay, next I'm going to actually cover some wider Ethereum news just to kind of tie up the story that I'd covered before. So a few days ago, I covered the story of Peter Szilagyi, and there being some drama between him and Dankard Feist, and also like some criticism that he'd made of Ethereum, leading to Vitalik replying to him. Well, today he made a post, well, actually yesterday, he made a post saying, hello world, in the past few weeks we've been part of, and dare I say directly generated a bunch of public debates around technical aspects of Geth, political aspects of Ethereum, perceived potentially real conflicts of interest, etc. Whilst I'm always driven by trying to keep Ethereum honest and fair for all, that's no excuse to ever become condescending or an arsehole with anyone. I would like to apologize to Data always, and Dankard specifically, and anyone else with whom I haven't had a fair exchange. Have a nice weekend, Peter. So I think this was actually a really nice response from Peter about some of the discussions that he'd been involved in, and people were quite upset, I think, to some extent with some of the comments that he made, and people were quite critical of some of the things he said. Some people were quite supportive of things he said, but I think what Peter here is saying, that like the tone of his contributions weren't as good as they could have been, and I think that is actually like really classy way of owning that up and apologizing. So good for you, Peter. And finally, I want to finish with this great post from Evan, a great shit post. It's actually one of the best I've seen in a while. So after the ETH ETF approval went through, the narrative shifted from critics, right? So in the last few months, we had people like Michael Saylor and a whole bunch of other people saying ETH is security, ETH will never get an ETF, ETH is, it's only a matter of time before it's removed from exchanges, ETH is a dead token, it's not developing, this is finished. And now that the ETF approval has happened, well, that all those naysayers have immediately pivoted to, hey, no one wants ETH anyway, it's too complicated, TradFi won't understand what it's doing, they're not going to buy the ETF of something they don't understand, Bitcoin is easy, we just say digital gold and they get it, whereas with ETH, like not even Ethereans know what it is or how to describe it. Is it ultrasound money? Is it the world computer? Is it like a decentralized ledger, blah, blah, blah? Any of this kind of stuff, like who knows, who cares kind of thing, right? And the flows are going to be terrible. Like no one's actually going to buy the ETF. So Evan here has this great post where he says, of course you think the ETF flows will be low. You're a first cycle BTC maximalist. You just finished some Bloomberg pundit, probably safer. You're going to be convinced that till next month when you get to kamikaze fiat, and then you're going to go on about grayscale unlock and how it's going to nuke. And you got that from his Twitter, November 23rd, 11:23 p.m. That's going to last until launch. You'll be here regurgitating Jack Mallers talking about, the pre-shitcoin ETF era utopia before big banks decided to profiteer the industry, and how this is going to attack Bitcoin. You're going to get to Balkunas talking about Sister Hazel and small potatoes, and then the replies, well, as a matter of fact, I won't, because he said he's going to be hard to break the 40-60 boomer world without a 5-second 30 IQ narrative, and Ethereum is too complicated, and how he estimates flows based on garbage futures ETF that launched while ETH traded at 40% discount to NAV. You got that from Hal Press. Yeah, I read that too. Were you going to plagiarize the whole thing for us? Have you got any thoughts of, your own in this matter? Or is that your thing? You come onto crypto Twitter, you read some obscure tweets, and then you pretend you pawn them off on your own idea just to impress some miladies and embarrass ETH maxis? And then stunned response. You see, the sad thing about a guy like you is that in 50 years you're going to start doing some thinking on your own, and you're going to come up with the fact that there's just two certainties in life. One, TradFi key opinion leaders believe in the flippening, and two, you fumbled all that P&L you could have got if you just watched Larry Fink's TV appearances. yeah, but I'll have USDC and you'll be shit posting on Twitter. Yeah, maybe, but at least I won't be Redactio. Anyway, this of course is a scene played out from Good Will Hunting, where Will has a conversation with a guy in a Harvard bar who's kind of like memorized the few talking points, and like this just was amazing, absolutely amazing from Evan. So I really wanted to cover that on the episode today. But anyway, thank you all for watching, listening, and being part of the Rocket Fuel community. This is actually a real background. I'm actually in a hotel lobby right now recording. I'm sorry, I'll be actually back to my regular setup on Monday, but I hope you all have a lovely weekend. It's been an absolutely phenomenal week, and I'm so happy that I've been able to make episodes for you all during this time. But anyway, have a great day, have a great weekend, and I will see you all on Monday. Bye.